Hey everybody, I just got this cool package in the mail. It's so cute. Look at this little crate that I got. Ugh! It's quite a heavy package, and I'm gonna start opening it up right now. This is how it came in the mail, and I'm gonna cut it apart. Just so you know where we're at, we are in my shed, which is on our 10-acre off-grid property in Williams, Arizona. This package is cool right here because this is something on a new subject that I've been wanting to do for a long time. This is the biggest piece of the puzzle, I think, for my new hobby. So what we've got inside of here is a 50-kilogram Anvil from Vevor.com. Alright, see if I can get this out of the box. This is over 100 pounds. Oh yeah, there we go. Sounded like Flipper. Pretty cool. Comes in a wooden crate. Things that are this heavy, they have to be way more secured, and it came to me in really good shape. I'm glad that they upgraded their box for shipping. Take off some of this little plastic covering that's on here. But what we have here is, like I said, a 50-kilogram Casio cast steel anvil. Now, the cast steel part is important when looking for an anvil. You can find a lot of really cheap cast iron anvils out there, and that's not what you want. Cast iron anvils are just not the hardness that you need when you're going to be blacksmithing. And this cast steel anvil is very, very good quality, especially for the price. I mean, to get a really nice, solid anvil, you can spend a lot of money, especially since the show Forged in Fire, or Fire, whatever, the knife show. Ever since that came out, the hobby of blacksmithing has really skyrocketed the price on anvils and things that you need for blacksmithing. I'm going to check this out a little bit, just go over it. It's got a really nice Pritchel hole. It's got a little bit of crud in the hardy hole. So when it comes to these Casio anvils that come from Vevor.com, you can buy them on eBay or whatever. But I'll put a link to this one in the description of the video below that goes to the Vevor website. And you can get your hands on a good quality, acceptable anvil for a decent price. This anvil will definitely do the job of amateur blacksmithing work. There may be some imperfections here and there. It looks like maybe there was a spot that was welded in the face. There's another little blemish here. You know, I don't expect these to be perfect. Another thing that you might find when you get one of these anvils is a portion of the metal that is covered with a body filler, and they do that to like smooth out some imperfections from the casting. It's not going to affect the usability of your anvil. As long as you don't have any dead spots in your surface, any big voids like that, this is going to be a perfectly acceptable anvil for me to start pounding out some steel and making some blacksmith projects. This is going to be set on a big piece of pine stump that I picked up in town the other day. They were cutting a lot from the side of the road, and I decided to grab one. So I'm going to be building a anvil stand for this. It's going to be going in the middle of my blacksmith shop. So I'm excited. I'm excited to get started. And the nice thing about these anvils is, like, this is the 50 kilogram, but I have a surprise for you. Hold on just a second. Oh, okay. This is the baby brother to the big anvil. They look like almost exactly the same size. This is the 40 kilogram on top. This is the 50 kilogram on the bottom. So you're talking 88 pounds here and 108 pounds here, something like that. But I can't wait to get started on doing some blacksmith work. I got two of these in different sizes. So this is a new package I just got. This is an 88-pound
cast steel anvil. I'm going to open it up right now. I want to take a look at this thing. I've always wanted to do this kind of thing, so this is how it came in the mail from Vevor.com. They have a very good quality, cheap anvil if you want to do that. Let me get this open and show you what came in the box. I've heard a lot of people complain about the shipping on these, but I can understand why they do, you know, kind of a halfway job packaging this, because it's very hard. You'd have to put it in, like, you'd have to build a wooden crate around it in order to really do it right. But it arrived in just fine condition. Let me pick this up. Get this box off of here. Okay, there we go. All right. So this one's a little bit smaller. This one's 88 pounds. I could take this camping with me or something like that. It's a little bit more portable. And this one will be in my shop. Oh. This bigger one will be in my shop permanently in the center of my shop as my main anvil. But it's kind of nice. I have two that I can do funky stuff with. You know, like if I have somebody that doesn't know anything and they want to learn to blacksmith, I can give them the beat up anvil and I can keep one nice for nicer projects. If you're interested in the lost art of blacksmithing, it's making a big comeback right now, and I'm going to be doing some blacksmithing content on my channel. I'm going to be building a blacksmith workshop. I'll be building an anvil stand for this, so it's nice and locked down on a surface that I can work on. And I'll be getting a propane forge. I'll probably be building a traditional fire forge. And I need to assemble a few tools. I need a set of tongs to hold metal, and I need a hammer to hammer things out. And then I'm about ready to go. So from what I've heard, the main things you need when blacksmithing is a anvil, a forge, and a hammer. Those are like the main things that you need. The other things are not really that, you know, you can make do with what you got. I'm also going to be making a video about dressing the anvil. Dressing the anvil is doing some things when you get a new anvil to make it ready for forging. This has a very hard 90-degree angle on these edges here. One thing I see a lot of people do is they round these edges off. One, so that you can bend your metal. It's a little bit nicer when you don't have a real hard edge. It doesn't leave a marred line on your work. And another reason is for safety. If you miss what you're trying to hammer out and you hit this with your hammer, you can bust a chip off. And those can be very dangerous as far as like flying and sticking into your skin or something like that. So I'm going to be taking these edges down a little bit, like a 1/16 of an inch round on the edges. And I'm probably going to be taking all this blue paint off and returning it to like a black steel finish. But I am kind of interested. I want to use this flap disc on it and just take a little bit of the paint off and smooth out a couple little seams I see from the casting. No big deal, but I just do want to clean it up a little bit. I've been dying to get my hands on this thing with an angle grinder, so here we go. What I hope to accomplish with this anvil is to learn the art of blacksmithing. I want to have this mounted in the center of my blacksmith shop on a nice anvil stand that is very secure. I want this anvil to look like a classic anvil looks. A nice black steel anvil. I want it to look like an Acme brand anvil that you would see in a Looney Tunes cartoon. It's going to perform great, but I also want it to look nice. Yeah, I think that's quite nice. Got a little rounded edge on there. I'm going to go around the whole anvil. I'll be making a dedicated video to how I'm going to be cleaning up this anvil, taking the paint off, and dressing it so that it's ready for forging. Pretty cool. I'm pretty excited. So these cast steel anvils have been out for a few years. I've been watching tons of videos on them on YouTube, and people seem to really like them for the price. I mean, you're not going to get the same amount of quality out of this as a $1,000 anvil, but when you're talking in the $100 to $200 range, this is about the top dog that you can get right now. But something exciting that's coming from Vevor in the near future, I think in about 30 days from the time of this video, they'll be posting new anvil designs that are supposed to be a higher quality than what is in this anvil right here. Just give you an idea of what it's looking like so far. I just ground off a little bit of stuff on the anvil. I'm just taking the blue paint off. Of course, I'm going to keep the horn and the top deck here just raw steel, keep it oiled so it doesn't rust, and the rest of it I'll do like a blacking type of fluid on the steel to make it a little bit more you know, classic anvil looking style. I love my Makita angle grinder, but sometimes it'd be nice to have one that plugs in. Well, it looks like I'm cleaning up the anvil right now. Is once you get started, you just can't stop, you know? But I'm going to be running out of battery very soon, so I'm about finished. I have been going into a deep dive about blacksmithing on YouTube, and there is a ton of really great content about how to set up your blacksmith shop, beginners blacksmithing skills and tools that you're going to need. And I wanted to name a few channels that I've really been enjoying and getting a lot of useful information from. Black Bear Forge, Old Hickory Forge, Christ-Centered Ironworks, Alec Steele, Essential Craftsman. I find these channels to be very simple to understand. The content is very good. There's a lot of really useful information that will help you as a beginner blacksmither. So anyways, this is my 50 kilogram Vevor cast steel anvil. I'm excited to get working in the blacksmith shop, which doesn't even exist yet. So I need to build it, put this on a stand, get my forge going, get a vise, which I have right back there. I got a bunch of pieces that are going to be going into the shop, and I am excited to get my 2 anvils into service and start pounding out some steel and making some cool stuff using some basic blacksmith skills. So thank you guys for watching this video. Check out the link in the description below if you want to check out Vevor. They're a cool resource to have if you need a cheap tool to get pretty much anything done. Vevor is similar to like a Harbor Freight type of thing, except it's all online, and they have reasonable prices for tools that you need to get things going on your homestead or van life or whatever. Thank you for watching. Check you out in the next video that'll be coming up really soon. Watch for my blacksmithing videos that are coming up. I'm so excited to get started. Ugh.